Any ideas what the B word is? Shout. Not Brexit. Not yet. We're going to work on balance. So let's take our feet about shoulder width apart and just take a moment, as we always do, just to feel that contact with the ground. Feel balanced and grounded and stable and strong through the feet. Maybe give your toes a little bit of a wiggle. We're also going to continue our work on the Turkish get-up as well. But of course that is all about balance. Life is all about balance. Centre of gravity in the pelvic area. So in Qi running, in Tai Chi and Qigong, we refer to this area as the lower dantian. And that is about 3 finger widths down from the belly button and a couple of inches in towards the spine. So you can just play around where you find that sweet spot where you can balance the centre of gravity of your pelvis, of the body, over the contact with the ground. So if it's too far forward, you're gripping with your toes, and if it's too far back, you're about to fall backwards. So just move around a little bit and just find that sweet spot where you find that balance, nice balance. It's not about being rigid, it's not about being solid, it's about being strong but soft at the same time. So there's still a little bit of movement going on. And then we're going to bring our attention to the rib cage. And a really nice, easy way to find balance of the rib cage is to use the hands, pop your thumbs on the sternum, and if the sternum is parallel, is that the right word? Vertical to the ground, then your ribs are nice and balanced on top of the pelvis. If it's tilting that way, you're most probably thrusting the ribs a little bit too far forward. If you're rolling in, then you're obviously most probably bringing the ribs too far into the body. So just that also nicely sets the shoulder blades as well. So just find that balance there. And then the next heaviest part of the body is the head. So just give your head a little nod. It's almost as if you are bringing your head back into, imagine you had a headrest behind you and you're just bringing your head back and balancing it on top of the spine. So it's all about balance, no force, no strain. So just take a moment to find that sweet spot where everything is balanced. Then you can just let your arms relax by the sides. Breathing is easy, should be easy just in a standing position. Now we're going to bring our feet a little bit closer together. So go maybe about fist width apart, so you have a little bit of space. And now we're going to balance on one leg. So the first thing I want you to do is visualize this right side is nice and strong, and once you're strong and stable on that right leg, you can just bend the knee and lift that left leg. Watch what's happening. We're going on with the arms. See if you can keep those 3 centers of gravity balanced, nice and tall through the spine. And then just place that left leg back down. A little bit of weight shift over to the left leg. So now the left side is going to be your strong side. So you stabilize, you're grounded, you're strong on that left side. Once your brain has told your body that you're strong on that left side, just bend the right knee. So you're just balancing. And play around in that position again. See what happens when you move those centers of gravity. If you lean forwards a bit or lean back a bit. Because it's not about holding a fixed position. It's all about just moving around and finding that point where it feels nice and strong and stable but not rigid. And also we're focusing on the leg and the hip. So quite rightly the legs need to be strong. But actually if that upper body is collapsing down onto that hip, the hip is having to do a lot more work. So at the same time as you're grounded, lift up through the crown of the head as well. So that upper body lifting and lengthening up can help counterbalance that grounding as well. So you're connected to the ground, you're connected to the earth, and you're also connected to the sky. Nice, long, strong body. It's quite nice to visualize almost like your heel going a little bit deeper into the ground. Give your hands and legs a little bit of a shake. Same thing again. So just move around a little bit. Find your nice, strong but soft balance point, 3 centers of gravity. Stabilize now on this right side of the body, and then you're just going to peel the heel, lift that left leg. So this left leg is actually nice and relaxed. Watch that this hip isn't dropping, so if the hip is dropping, you can lift, pushing with that right hip to lift the left hip. Really push through the heel, use that leg, use that length of the upper body, come in nice and tall. Keep the knees soft, so we're not just jarring the leg and locking it out. And again, just play around. Maybe lift the knee, maybe open the hip, maybe stick the heel out as if you're about to kick to the side. And explore how you can balance, how you can move around by challenging your center of gravity. So that's quite nice. Just explore that balance. And then come back to the point where you're strong, but not locked. Where you can breathe easy. You may feel actually and start to really work those nice hip muscles, all of the muscles, all of the fascia down the side of the body, really working. And then bring that left foot to the ground. You might want to shake that right leg out a little bit. Back to balance on both legs, both feet. Take your time to feel, because you've really used that right side now. Really challenge that right side. Move around a little bit. Balance evenly on both. Find that sweet spot again. Stabilize on the left side of the body. Nice and strong and stable on the left. You're just going to peel the heel off the ground, this right hip. Relax, just hanging, the leg just hanging. Again, if this left hip drops out, bring it back in. Push the heel into the ground, keep the knee soft. Nice and strong, watch that the hip isn't pushing forwards or backwards. So if you're looking from the side of the body, you should still have, as he falls over, still have, if you're looking visually, shoulder, hip and ankle in line. That hip's not forwards or backwards too much. So nice and tall, 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 tall. Explore again what happens if I externally rotate my hip, if I open my hip up, if I turn my knee in and pull my leg out. Just do weird things, lift the knee, explore, balance, challenge your center of gravity, and then find that sweet spot and bring the foot back down to the ground. That left side should be feeling as if it's really worked now. So again, just shake, 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 vibrate. You might want to just vibrate the heels into the ground. That's quite nice. Get some vibration going through the body. And then come to rest. Just take a moment to tune in. Breathing easy, breathing calm, soft. So we're going to keep the space about fist width, and we're just going to do a little bit of coordination with the balance. I think we've done this one once before in the movement session. So as you raise your arms up, so your arms are going to float up. So it's very much like those Qigong movements. Your arms are floating up like big wings. But as the arms float up, so does the knee. So you balance, and you coordinate slow, 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 slow. The important part is coordinating and doing it slow. It's very easy to get to there and go, oh, I'll just land on that leg. So it's really slow, coordinated, soft movements. And then you transfer to the opposite side, balance, strong through the opposite side, floating up, balance. So this is a really good example of being strong and soft at the same time, aligned yet relaxed. Shoulders, wrists, hands, elbows are relaxed. Yeah, I'm really strong through that support side. This is the challenging bit as you're coming down. And again, as you know, rhythm is so important. Smooth, fluid, rhythmical movement. Watch any strong, good, powerful runner or athlete, and there's an element of grace to their movement. Because it's smooth and it's fluid, it's focused, it's centered. This is a great exercise just to practice balance, coordination, rhythm. It's also getting the upper body working. Let's do a couple more. Again, I'm not counting reps, just going with feel and going with the breath. If I start to get out of breath and holding the breath, then you stop. Simple as that for this particular purpose, this particular practice. Good, and rest there. Give the legs a bit of a shake out again. Give the hands a bit of a shake out. We're going to go a little bit wider now with the feet slightly turned out. So turned out, and we're going to go into sort of like a quarter squat. So we're just going to hinge at the hips, bend the knees, so you're just sitting back in a quarter squat. So my spine is in a neutral position. I'm not rounding the back, I'm not tucking the pelvis in. I've got that little bit of a curve in my lower back there. So it's almost as if you're ready to reach one side or the other side, or forwards or backwards. So you're in a really good strong position to move in any direction that you needed to, if you needed to. So from there, we're going to bring our hands again to heart center. So this helps open up the chest without thrusting the ribs forwards. So you're opening up from the collarbone across the sternum. And from here, we're just going to slide down, lower our center of gravity. So the knees, I'll just move round as well to the front. So the knees are just gliding over the toes. Watch that we're not pulling in. And again, we're just going with the breath. So if I get to the point where I'm straining, go a little bit wider. If it's straining or hurting, I stop. So I just come up and we just slide down, keeping that neutral spine. When you're coming up, really use the legs. So you're pushing into the heels. So we're actually strengthening the legs now. And down. And push up. So this is really working the thighs, the glutes. Down. Push up. Challenge yourself a little bit without going into excess strain. So if you can go a little bit lower, keeping that neutral spine. And push up, push through the heels, use the legs. Come to full standing. So we go down. Keeping that spine nice and strong and long. Down. Push up. And rest there. Again, you may have felt that working in the hips, nice and strong. Give the legs a little bit of a shake, a little bit of a vibration. Now we're going to add a little bit of additional balance to that. So this time you're going to put your right foot slightly forwards of your left foot. You're going to do the same thing, but as you come down, you're just going to shift the weight to the right foot. So it's almost as if you're about to go over there. So you come down, shift the weight, that left foot just becomes sort of like a trail leg to balance there, and then you come back over that left leg, and then we come forwards and then back. So the weight now a little bit more on the left leg, so it's as if I'm about to go running over there, forwards and back, and forwards and back, and forwards and back. Let's do a couple more. And forwards, really nice on the hips, and back, and forwards and back. Bring the legs back together, give them a bit of shake out. We'll do the same on the opposite side. So your left foot, it's about a foot's distance ahead, left foot ahead. Sink into that, about a quarter squat. Again, the spine in neutral. So we're now just going to shift the weight over that left leg, open that right hip, and then back. So if I was looking for intention, I'd be going over there. So you might feel I'm tighter in this right hip. I can really feel the difference in this right hip. So my left hip opened up really well. There, it's just wanting to pull. So I'm having to consciously let go of that right hip as I reach over there, and then back, and over, and back, and over, and back, and over, and back. So we're just shifting our center of gravity from here over there. Again, if I was going to run over there or throw something over there, it's that idea, but we're just doing it nice and slow, gliding, smooth, fluid movement. By slowing a movement down, you've really got time to body sense, be aware of what's going on, tune in, notice, I'm tight in that right hip, rather than just throwing yourself into a position. Momentum is great help, but it's actually, if you're not thinking or not aware of what's going on in the body, momentum can be a real hinder as well, because you can just throw yourself into a position. That's why it's good to do stuff slowly, so you can really work the muscles, feel what's going on in the body, and then come back to the center. Excuse me. Give your legs a little bit of a shake. Give your heels a little bit of a vibrate. If you need a drink, grab a drink. If you need to open the door because it's warm in here, open the door. And then we're going to continue with our Turkish get-up. We've done quite a lot of work with the legs, but we're going to continue that. So what I'd like you to do now is face, if you're on a mat, be at the front of your mat, so you've got the mat behind you. And we'll start off just with some split squats. So again, check in with your 3 centers of gravity, so you're balanced. And what we're going to do is now the left side of the body is your stabilization side, so you're stable through that left side of the body, and you're just going to reach back with that right leg, so you're on the ball of the foot with that right leg. Keep your legs in line with the hips, so I'm not reaching out here, so I'm on train tracks. So you're reaching back with that right leg, you're balancing as he wobbles again, balancing, and then all we're going to do is keep this upper body tall. So you might feel as if you're tucking this pelvis a little bit. You won't be, but you'll be opening up through that right side of the hip. You're just going to lower your right knee towards the ground, and then you're going to come back up, and you're going to extend that left knee. So again, you're going to lower the right knee, that left knee glides over the left toe, and then you're going to extend and come to standing, or come to a straight left leg. So again, it's all about the balance. So we're going to lower, come back to balance, come to the top, lower. It's good again to visualize being lifted and lengthened from the crown. So use the sky to help you. Use the upper body to help you keeping going up. So rather than just thinking everything's coming down, actually I'm being helped, I'm being lowered. And up. And let's do one more. Lower. And up. Safely step forwards. You will feel that working. You should feel that working in the hips. Again, give your legs a shake out. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. Check in with your posture. 3 centers of gravity. Stabilize on this right side of the body. I'll go the other way around so you can see there. I've got enough space at the back. Stabilize on the right side of the body. Step back. Take your time to balance in this position. So find that really strong balance position. Tall through the spine. Slight tuck of the pelvis, but you're not tucking the pelvis. You're literally opening up that hip flexor. Again, don't pull or strain. Lower and come up. Lower and come up. Keep the shoulders relaxed, hands relaxed. Least amount of work you have to do with the arms to balance, the better. Lower and extend. Lower and extend. Let's do a couple more. Lower, breathing easy, and extend. Lower and extend. When you're stepping forwards, don't just throw yourself forwards. Shift that weight over that right leg. Strong step onto that right leg. Again, be very aware of every single movement you're doing. Be in control of every single movement that you're doing. How are we doing time-wise? 5 minutes, just enough time. Give your legs a little bit of a shake. Same thing, I'll go this way again. So I'm on my left side of my body. This time I'm going to raise my left arm up. Going to change the visual, so I'm actually going to focus on that left wrist. So I'm holding a wrist. So imagine you're holding something. If we're doing it with a kettlebell, you're holding a kettlebell up there. But for the minute, you're just holding the wrist up. So you're stabilizing on that left side of the body. You're going to step back with that right leg, now keeping the visual up there, so it's a little bit more difficult to balance. Keeping the ribs in the body, so make sure you're strong through that side of the body. You're going to lower your knee, and this time, if you're comfortable, just pop the knee on the floor. If you've got any knee problems, then just come back up to stand. If you're comfortable with your knee on the floor, pop the knee on the floor. Then what you're going to do is almost like windscreen wiper that right leg. So you're going to bring the foot in, so you're opening up this hip here. Again, if there's any problems with the knees, just stop the movement. Hold, still looking at your wrist. I'm watching you on there. So still looking at the wrist. Lower your right hand to the ground. So now you're strong through the right arm, right shoulders. Watch that this shoulder isn't hunched up there. Really use that right hand on the ground to swing your right leg through. Still looking at the wrist there. Then you're going to bring your right elbow down. Right elbow down, and then just slowly roll back down to the ground. Good. Then bring that arm down. Take your time to come up, so we're just going to do it on the other side. Where's that water come from? Oh, my roof's leaking. So what side have we just done it on? So we right arm up. So you got your right arm up. Keep the focus all of the time on that right wrist. Stabilize. Be in control of every single position. Be balanced in every single position. Balance with that right, with the left leg back. Lower your upper body, lower the knee to the ground. If you're comfortable, if the knee is okay, then just pop the knee on the mat. Still looking at the kettlebell or still looking at the wrist there. You're going to windscreen wiper that left heel, so you're opening up the hips here. Open up the hips. When the hips are open up, you can then lean back or lean to the side, strong through the shoulders. Watch that the shoulders, watch that this arm isn't falling. So you're strong, nice strong shoulder line. Once you've got that strong shoulder line, balance on this right hip, swing the left leg through, slowly lower, elbow, and then roll the spine down. And then just bring the elbow down and rest on the floor. So let's stay in the floor. I'm just sliding down the mat a bit. Let your legs now be heavy. And just take a moment. You can pop your hands, palms down, palms up. If you prefer, you can just rest them across the body, wherever you feel comfortable. Lengthen out the spine. So get the base of the skull on the ground. And just take a moment to let gravity and ground force do its work. So the ground is there to support your body weight, is to support you, and gravity is allowing you, helping you just let everything go and soften into the ground. Do a quick body scan, feet, ankles, shins, calves, knees, thighs. We've done a lot of work with the hips, so just let those hips relax, legs heavy, tailbone into the ground. Just move vertebra by vertebra up the spine, lengthen out the spine. Feel the shoulder blades connected to the ground. Shoulders, back of the skull, eye sockets relaxed, forehead relaxed, no tension, jaw relaxed. The lips just lightly together. Just rest the tongue gently on the roof of the mouth. And just follow a couple of breaths. So notice as you breathe in, slightly cooler air coming in through the nose. And as you breathe out, slightly warmer. Allowing the breath to settle. Just breathing the amount of air that you need just to oxygenate the body, energize the body for all the work that you've just done. A lot of work there in half an hour, so well done everyone. And in your own time, you can just come back up. You can roll over and come to sitting. And if you want to come up to standing, stay sitting if you want to stay sitting. If you're coming up to standing, do it really slowly, no rush. and we will finish there. Again, as always, this class will be on the portal, so you can log in there, watch the replay of it, leave any comments that you want to there. This coming Saturday, I've got my Run with Ease workshop, so if anybody wants to join that, it's 3 Saturday mornings looking at Chi running technique, oxygen advantage breathing technique, how the combination of the two, it's a really powerful combination of those two techniques which can help you be more efficient when you're running, hopefully reduce the risk of you getting any injuries. And it's all about having fun, really. It's all about doing exercise or movement with intention, and knowing that it's nourishing the body, improving your body, whatever level we're at, whatever we want to achieve in terms of our movement practice. So I thank you again for watching. Same time next week. If you're doing the breathing one will be on Tuesday morning as well next week. Have a great day, and I will see you all soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.